I want to talk about a phenomenon that I notice more and more, and it annoys me every time I notice it. So we hear a lot about weaponized incompetence, which is when people kind of pretend they are incapable of doing really basic tasks. Like, you know, a husband who acts like he doesn't know how the laundry machine works. That's him weaponizing his incompetence so as to force his wife to do his laundry for him. I want to talk about something I've noticed, which is weaponized competence, which are people who make a big show about being really competent in things that just like don't fucking matter as a way to distract from the fact that they bring nothing to the table.
Yes.
It's just like, so in this case, it would be like, a husband who hasn't had a job in 10 years and doesn't help take care of the kids, but he grills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I work the grill.
Right.
Oh, by the way, that's something that like husbands do and dads love to do. They don't help cook a meal all year long. On like the 2 like family get-togethers, they man the grill.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't help with the food. You're weaponizing your competence at the grill to create the illusion that you're contributing more to like the meal situation than you actually do.
I saw a TikTok about that, about how come like guys can cook but only in the most visible circumstances possible.
Guys can cook only when their whole family is coming over for them to be like, hey, I'm cooking.
Hey, look,
I'm cooking
look,
right
I'm
now.
Cooking, yeah.
Look at me, I am so competent
It's
with
like
cooking.
You absolutely can cook. You just only want to do it for a massive audience because you want to minimize the amount of work and maximize the recognition.
Midnight Milkshake.
Even in that scenario, it's like, okay, the dad grills and then the mom's inside like making a salad, dicing up potatoes, mashing potatoes, seasoning vegetables, cooking the vegetables, getting the plates out, putting the plates together, blah, blah, blah. The dad grills and then he gets to be the star of the meal.
Yeah. That's weaponized competence.
That's weaponized competence.
That's weaponized. Okay. I don't know if this counts as weaponized competence, but this made me think about how, I had this friend who I'm kind of disorganized, but I'm not like so disorganized. Like if you come into my room, you know that like clearly like this girl could tell me where a sweater is, right?
Yes.
But my friend would act like I was so disorganized. Like she would act like I was so messy in this way that like I just wasn't true. But she would use that to be like, Dana, let me come over and help you organize your closet. And then she just used that as an excuse to like borrow all the shit she wanted. So she'd like be like organizing my closet, but really she was just like taking a shirt she wanted from me.
And again, if she wanted to like borrow a shirt, she could.
But she just asked. But instead it's like she didn't want to just borrow a shirt because also, I think there's so many people who when they perceive a power imbalance, like they perceive that you're better than them at something or whatever, they have to like in order, and I think this is actually the problem at the core of weaponized competence is people are weaponizing their competence in this insignificant area so that they don't feel inferior to you.
Yes.
And I think like that was what it was, where it's like I had cool clothes that she wanted to borrow and she couldn't just be like, hey Dana, can I borrow that cool shirt? She'd be like, let me help you.
She had to find a way to make it out like she's doing you a favor by borrowing your shirt.
Right, exactly. And she's like, well, I'm organizing your clothes and I'll just take this shirt in exchange for organizing your clothes. I'm like, I don't need you to organize my clothes. If you want to take the shirt, take the shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to say I didn't borrow clothes from her. I did borrow clothes from her, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you don't have to also like try to like be like, Dana, you're so messy. Also, let me borrow your sweater.
Well, again, it's like when like I'm not saying like when I'm saying like a weaponized competence is annoying. I'm not saying like dads shouldn't grill.
No,
I'm just saying like this thing of like you have to make a big show about a relatively insignificant thing, and it always kind of like paints someone else's significance as like inferior to yours.
Yes.
Even if they're doing the real stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. This was the thing that inspired this whole weaponized competence thing. All right. You tell me if I'm an asshole here or you tell me if I'm wrong to be weirded out by this and dare I say a little offended. So I had a friend come over one time. Whatever. It was fine. It was like nothing. I was just like hung out with my friend for a little bit and then he left. And I didn't even notice my friend did this until like a couple days later. While my friend was over, he like organized my chargers without asking me. Like my computer charger and my phone charger were just like, there's like in the corner, like plugged in, whatever. And I realized that after my friend had left, at some point, he had like organized all my cords for me and like wrapped them up in a little coil and like set them neatly next to my charger. And I'm like, there's something about that where I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? It's someone perceiving that you need their help. And then trying to impose a level of incompetence or inferiority onto you.
Of like, Robert couldn't
doesn't
organize
even know
his cords.
how to untangle his charger.
oh, I'll have to do this for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I mean, it also was doubly annoying because I'm like, okay, well, clearly to use either charger, I'm gonna have to like untangle your little coil here.
Right.
So it didn't even really help me.
No.
It's just like, you just kind of weirded me out and insulted me.
But it's also like very much like someone comes over, they eat all the snacks in your fridge, and then they're like, oh, do you want me to wipe down the counter? It's kind of dirty over here. That's what it is. That's weaponized competence. It's like, dude, you literally just ate all of my snacks. And now you're going to be like, also your counter's dirty. Let me wipe it for you. Get fucked. Get fucked. You want to eat all the snacks in my fridge? Fine. But you can't also then be like, oh, it's a little dirty over there. I'll clean this up for you. Yeah. You're not doing me a favor. Like, just stop.
Oh,
like,
thanks for letting me come over and enjoy your house.
Yeah.
But you can't just say that. You have to be like, hey, I swept your front step.
Yes.
I didn't ask you to sweep my front step.
No one asked you to sweep my front step. It's that. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about like those people who come over, they like eat all your food, they borrow your best dress, and then they say, by the way, I'll hang this sweater up for you. It was on the floor. Yeah. By the way, I'll Windex the mirror in your bathroom. It's really dirty. Yeah.
But even Windexing the mirror is almost too helpful.
It's just that's actually helpful.
It's more so like, hey, by the way, I organized your drawers for you. And then you go in and the drawers, like nothing is where you know it is.
That's so real.
Like, well, there's also this thing too, where I think that it comes from this thing of like, nobody ever wants to just be like, oh yeah, thank you for doing this for me or offering me something.
Well, you know what it is I think there's a certain kind of person where they can't stand being in favor deficit.
Yes.
Being in favor debt. They don't like to be in favor debt. And I'm like, here's my thing. In life, you're gonna be in favor debt sometimes. Like that's just like the thing. Like sometimes someone does something for you. You don't need to, in that moment, try to make it up to them.
And also, like, I will say, it is like, that's not even a fair trade.
No.
It's never a fair trade.
But that's what I mean. People who are trying to instantly make up favor debt, they're always actually doing something that's like not equal. Also, they're doing something the other person didn't ask for. That's the biggest thing. It's like, okay, if you ask me, or if I invite you over to my house and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, help yourself to some snacks. You don't need to feel bad. I offered you snacks. But then it's like, then you do something that I didn't want, like sweep my front step, and now you're like, yeah, we're even. It's like, no, bro, like I didn't offer you snacks as like a way to get you to sweep my front step. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, do you want to come over, like grab some food?
Yeah.
I'll get my broom. Also, it's always kind of a secret. It's like, if I had asked, like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's so freaking weird.
It's so freaking weird.
But if you know what we mean,
if you know what I mean,
we're just describing a phenomenon.
It's weaponized competence.
It's weaponized competence. Yeah. Weaponized competence. Oh, we want to talk about Carl's Jr. You guys, what the frig is the deal with Carl's Jr.? They're open 24 hours a day, but we're like, no one wants to eat there. And I'm always saying, like, Carl's Jr. needs a hardcore rebrand.
Well, first off, the Carl's Jr. near us, it is open 24 hours a day. And at first I was like, they don't need to be open that long. But then it's kind of like, dude, they don't need to be open 10 minutes. Yeah. So if they're going to be open at all, they may as well never be closed.
Right. Because it's like, yeah, no one is there at any hour. So what hour would they pick to be open? If they're open, it has to be all of them to maximize potential possible customers.
Yeah, they're trying to like lure people in, you know,
and
like a lighthouse.
Sometimes we'll go for a soda because there's never a line.
Carl's Jr., the hack is because no one's ever there. If I want to grab a soda, I'll just do like, because I can't go to like In-N-Out or McDonald's, there's a line, but I can just like go right in through Carl's Jr., get a soda, easy. But that's the thing about Carl's Jr. Even I am a little confused as to why I don't like it, because like, no, they have like good food. The prices are fine. The soda machine's actually top tier.
The soda machine is top tier. But here's what I said. I think it's because they don't have a signature item. I think at McDonald's, there's the chicken nugget. Taco Bell has the Crunchwrap Supreme, the cheesy gordita crunch. Even like Jack in the Box, I think Jack in the Box really carved a niche for themselves when they went for the stoner community in the 2010s.
I think Jack in the Box had really good marketing.
Yeah, Jack in the Box had great marketing.
Carl's Jr. had a little bit of a moment when they had the hot girls eating the burgers.
I literally think that didn't help them sell food. And I think ultimately, even though those are attention-grabbing ads that made an impact in the, you know, kind of advertising zeitgeist, I don't think they actually got anybody to eat Carl's
I guess the
Jr.
focus of those ads was obviously the hot women, whereas the focus in like Jack in the Box ads is Jack. But also, I don't even know if Jack in the Box is doing well.
But my whole thing is like, boobs don't make you want to eat food. When I see like a girl with big tits dripping burger juice onto her tits, I'm not thinking like, yeah, I want a burger.
Yeah. Well,
I'm thinking
boobs don't want to make you want to eat food. They just make you want to like drink a bunch of milk. I wonder why. That's so gross. I'm so sorry.
That gave me the ick.
I'm so sorry.
I think you should be turned into the beast.
Because I said, titties make me want to gulp milk.
Yeah.
And then the witch is like, be a beast.
That actually organically brings me to
I'm
Midnight
sorry.
Milkshake as our podcast title.
God.
Just so you guys know, Midnight Milkshake is straight up what it means. Robert and I love to eat ice cream late at night because we don't really drink or do any other debaucherous stuff. So sweets are our indulgence.
Okay.
But
I'm going to frame this as
Yes.
a different question. What is the deal with boomer women acting like literally everything has some sort of like dirty double meaning or ulterior motive? I told my mom the name of our podcast. It's the Midnight Milkshake Podcast. It's literally about we like to get milkshakes late at night and yap. So it's the Midnight Milkshake Podcast. And my mom said, quote, I'll listen to a couple episodes, even though the name is a little dirty. And we were like, what? It's
We're
not
like,
dirty.
what?
And she goes, well, milkshake, like, there was a song, my milkshake brings all the more. And we're like, yeah, it's not about that. She
Yeah.
goes, we literally go, it's not dirty. And she goes, yes, it is. And it's like, we made it up.
yeah, we made it up. We decide the connotation. We decide the implications. We're saying to you, all of you listeners right now, there is no double entendre. There is no secret, hidden, dirty meaning. We literally like to eat ice cream at night.
Well, it's so funny. We literally said to our, like, we say Midnight Milkshake. My mom hears like Dick Night Fuck Shake. That's what my mom's ears
Dick
hear.
Night Fuck Shake. Welcome to the Dick Night Fuck Shake podcast. Like,
Dude, that's not a terrible
Dude,
name.
Dick Night Fuck Shake. Dude, also, I literally think that would actually make our podcast more popular.
We would pop.
We were the Dick Night Fuck Shake podcast. Dude, wait, should we just change it?
You'd be Dick Night and I'd be Fuck Shake.
Dude, that's so good. I love that. Welcome back to the Dick Night Fuck Shake podcast. I'm Dick Night.
I'm Fuck Shake. We want to talk about weaponized cup.
Confidence. So yeah, we will be changing our podcast name to the Dick Night Fuck Shake
But
podcast.
dude, it also is that thing where it's like, first off, every time I'm around my parents, I become me at 10. I'm just like, it doesn't matter what the conversation can start with like, I'm actually making a lot of good investments right now in the market. 2 exchanges later, I'm going, Mom,
are you Mom? That's not what I said.
Like I do just like regress. Now again, this all goes back to you really regress. You're like, I have a cut on my finger. Do I think I need to go to the doctor? And Mom's like, we have to go to the doctor, ER. No matter what it costs, no matter what it takes, I won't stop the red lights. I'm just like, good. Yeah, it's like no break skin. No break skin. And you love it. But also you knew it was no big deal. You just wanted someone to tell you the cut was a big deal. And to just watch that and just immediately understand like every weird idiosyncrasy. Wild. Your mom there's probably also a time in your childhood that we'd flashback where your mom's like, Dana, if you ever turn off a lamp, you're going to get an infection. If you ever close a door, you're going to get AIDS. Like, I bet there's something just embedded.
Childhood trauma. Okay. I want to talk about how the cooler your career goals are, the more people mock you while you try to achieve them.
Whoa.
So we were talking about how if you want to be a rapper, the gap between wannabe rapper and successful rapper is like, it's crazy. That's a crazy gap of how people perceive you.
There's nothing less cool than being an aspiring rapper, which is crazy because like there's nothing more cool
than being a rapper, a established rapper. Yeah,
because there's the biggest gap.
Yeah, but we were saying it's like the cooler your dream, the more that you will be mocked as you try to achieve it, and also the more embarrassing the in between stage has to be.
Whereas someone like saying like I want to be an accountant, I'm an aspiring accountant, that's not cringe at all. There's nothing weird about that.
No one cares.
A successful accountant isn't that cool. No. So the cool gap isn't that big.
No one will ever tell you like you're never gonna make it as an accountant. Like no one's ever gonna tell you that. Meanwhile, like if you say like I want to be a movie star, people are like, yeah, freaking right. And that's why being in like local plays is kind of embarrassing, right? Yeah. But
to others, which is why that also is why if you do local plays in many ways, like there's something so pure about that art form because you're purely doing it for yourself.
Exactly.
Because it's never cool.
But we were also saying rap is such an interesting one because like I think we started talking about this because we were listening to Drake and he talks about like I don't know, something about people making fun of him, saying he'd never be anything, and now here he is.
Getting called a pedophile at the Super Bowl.
And aren't you jealous?
Drake's like, they said I'd never be nothing, and now I'm getting called a pedophile at the Super Bowl.
They said I'd never be nothing. Now I'm a pedophile at the Super Bowl. But we were talking about how it's like, no, I'm sure Drake was mocked so much because also like what he was doing until a bunch of white boys arbitrarily decided it was cool was lame, right? And then we were talking about how it's like a big part of rapping too is like nobody knows if it's good. Like none of us know if it's good. And like you were saying about Macklemore, like,
well, again, no one actually knows what good rap sounds like.
I don't know.
Because I know, like, I know that I don't know. And I get it. You're thinking like you're like a dumb, like private school educated, like white guy. I'm like, correct. Yeah. But like, again, like everyone says Macklemore is terrible and lame and his rap sucks. I listen to Macklemore to my ear. It sounds good. And I know I'm wrong. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. I'm wrong.
He's wrong, but he doesn't know why.
I don't know that.
And like, I don't really know why either. And the reality too is white private school boys actually dictated a lot of mainstream popular rap culture in like the 2010s. Sammy Adams, Asher Roth.
Which, by the way, where are those guys?
Where are you guys?
There was like a real
I think I saw. No, it was Hoodie Allen had like a TikTok come back.
He briefly tried to go the nostalgia route. But like there is like, dude, one thing that Gen Z should, I think, like count themselves lucky that they avoided was the kind of 2010s, late 2000s era of kind of like white boy frat rap. Yeah. Sammy Adams, Hoodie Allen, Asher Roth. I mean, they really had a moment.
Yeah. I mean, they were huge. There was like a couple other fringe ones in there too. Yeah. That I'm trying. I would argue
that like you could argue Mac Miller kind of rode some of that wave, but then obviously people.
Well, there's like the G-Eazy.
Transcended. Yeah, I would almost put G-Eazy though in more of like an Eminem category. Yeah, where it's like
Eminem wouldn't like that.
I'm sure, but you know what I mean? Again, like Sammy, like that specific kind of like we're at the frat drinking beer.
Okay, also, no one knows what good rap is, but like people know that Eminem is good at rap, and people know that like Lil Wayne is good at rap. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, it's interesting because I'm like, no, if in a vacuum you played me a Drake song, I wouldn't know it was good unless I knew that like millions of other people had already agreed that it was good. I already liked it. Meanwhile, like if you played me an Eminem or like a Lil Wayne song, I'd be like, yeah, this goes hard. Yeah. So I'm like, so maybe that's not even true that we don't know what good rap is. It's just like that kind of like there's a level of rap in which like, in order for me to enjoy it, I need to first know that 5 million people have enjoyed it before me.
It's like if your friend, like you're in the car and he says, let me play you something. And it's him going, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. You'd be like, oh, is this like Glee? Or?
Yeah, right. You would literally be like, what is this?
If Drake does it and you know it's already a hit, you're like, well, it's a pretty good Drake song.
But it's like, what is how would you name the phenomenon of like, this is good if I can confirm that 10 million other people agree. And if I can't, then I can't. I don't claim it.
I don't claim it.
If I can't confirm, I can't claim it.
I really like this, assuming it at least made top 5 on Billboard.
I like it if it made top 5 on Billboard. If it didn't, I have to get as far away from this thing as possible.
Well, that's kind of like every Maroon 5 song where it's like, praying on you tonight. It's like that's only good to your ear because you know it's a popular hit song. Yeah. But again, if that was like a niche, if you're just like in a coffee shop and they're playing like kind of indie music and a song comes on like praying on you tonight.
But it's like, but it's not, but you know it's not popular. Like, like it's like again, but how do you even listen to that, but you like don't know it's popular?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why it's so funny whenever, again, like a Maroon 5 or even like certain Ed Sheeran songs flop. Because I'm like, I know you wanted this to be so popular.
This was supposed to be so popular.
Not just good or bad.
No, it was supposed to be so popular. Yeah.
Well, I always said this whenever people like trash on Adam Levine or whenever there was like any controversy with Adam Levine, like sliding into fans' DMs or anything, I'm like, you people are going to feel so stupid when Adam Levine takes all of this hate and he just uses it to create just the worst fucking popular song you've ever heard. He's like, oh, you hate me now just asked you, I'm going to make a shitty song that's so popular.
He's like, I'm going to make a shitty song that's so popular.
You don't even,
and then the best revenge is a shitty song that's so popular.
Adam Levine's like, you guys hate me. Well, you're going to have to hate me while I'm on The Voice performing the shittiest popular song you've ever heard.
Dude, that must be cool to be Adam Levine because you always get the last word.
Because you're on The Voice.
Because you're on the fucking Voice, dude.
Because you can always go back to The Voice.
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you to The Voice.
We love your work. We love the jobs program that you provide for celebrities. Oh, okay. This is kind of a niche LA topic, but Robert and I realized recently that, okay, first of all, Beverly Hills is no longer that expensive. When we were doing our apartment hunt, what we found was Beverly Hills actually has some of the most affordable housing in Los Angeles, which you wouldn't assume because Beverly Hills is like, notably a quote unquote expensive city or expensive neighborhood.
It's so funny because Beverly Hills has this reputation of like everyone's shallow, everyone's rich, everything's expensive and tan and blonde. But in fact, like actually, like if you're trying to get like a 1-bedroom or something apartment in Beverly Hills, like the Beverly Hills apartments are pretty affordable. Yeah. Whereas the most expensive apartments are in the cool, artsy. Everyone here is just like making art and drinking orange wine. Right. And we all wear plaid. Yeah. That's where it's expensive.
Yeah. The natural wine plaid print communities, that's where they're charging like crazy rent. Yeah. Meanwhile, over in Beverly Hills, it's like low key. You're like, oh, that's not that bad. But I was saying it's almost like the Iceland-Greenland phenomenon, which if you don't know, they named Greenland because it was icy there, and then they named Iceland because it was green and nice there, so that more people would want to go to Greenland as opposed to Iceland. So it was like reverse psychology, like if you know, you know. But I'm like, Beverly Hills has low-key become that because people think it's going to be so expensive, they don't even bother looking there, and that ultimately is what has made rents go down and has also made it like kind of like less cool over the time.
Yeah.
Because people assume it's like hoity-toity and rich and snobby, but like really now it's kind of low-key.
Well, now all the cool like artistic neighborhoods like Silver Lake or Echo Park or something like that's where like Angelina Jolie lives. Like,
right.
That's where the stars are.
Well, all the celebrities live in like Los Feliz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where everyone's like, oh man, we're not about that shallow Beverly Hills life. It's kind of like you are now Beverly Hills.
They just made that Beverly Hills. So they all decided that they were too like salt of the earth and cool and grungy for Beverly Hills. And then they just decided to drive up rents and prices in another neighborhood. That then becomes Beverly Hills. Duh.
And again, so much of LA though is that though, where it is just kind of like this like artifice and facade. And like your ability to love it, which we do, is your enthusiasm for kind of participating in that. Okay. So like recently Dana and I went to this really trendy, cool LA kind of like breakfast place where they're known for like their breakfast sliders. And every time the line is cool and it's around the block. Yeah. And one day we said, fuck it, we're waiting in that line. Yeah. We're going to get these breakfast sliders everyone talks about. So we show up at around noon. We wait in line.
Yeah. No, we showed up before noon. We showed up at like 11:30.
But we're in line a long
time.
For
like an hour and
a half.
More than an hour and a half.
More than an hour and a half.
But okay, I think we showed up at like maybe 11:40, and by the time we were inside, it was 12:20.
Yes. So no, it was more than that. We were in there a long time. The point is we were in there a really long time.
No, I think we got there before 11. I think we like pulled up at like 10:50. And then it was 12:20 when we got inside. That sounds right.
That's right. Yeah. So we get there around like 10:50 in the morning. The line's so long. Everyone there's cool. We wait the whole time. We wait the whole time. We wait the whole time. And they're known for like these trendy breakfast sliders. So we're like, oh man, we're going to get them. We're going to take pictures of them. Maybe even put them on our Instagram story. Yeah. We get in there at 12:20. That's when we finally we start around the block. We finally get inside. And then we see something that we realize that like, no one's like walking out with any food. No. Everyone's walking out with like a coffee, but like no one's got anything. And then we realized like we saw a little tiny sign. They stopped serving their breakfast sliders at noon. And it's 12:20. And the line's still around the block. And I'm like, so really, no one in this line is even waiting for the breakfast sliders. We didn't even wait for the breakfast sliders because there are none. We waited in the line
for the sake of waiting in the line.
To wait in the line. The line was the end of the line.
The line was the thing.
The goal of the line was to just be in the line.
The goal of the line was to be in the line. And it's also so funny because I was telling Robert this. But okay, so the line was so long that at some point Robert went and left to get coffees at another place that we could drink in line for this coffee place. And there's these two girls behind me. First of all, at first I assume they're like in their 20s. And then one of them turns to the other one and she goes, yeah, you know Michelle, she's in our grade. And I'm like, I'm like, their grade? These girls were fucking in high school. They looked so fucking old. But they also were talking about how they were like, where should we go eat after this? And in my head, I'm like, why would you go eat after this? Like, there's sliders. They decide they're going to go to the Brandy Melville Cafe after this. And I'm like, oh, wow, I guess they're going to have 2 lunches. Little do I know. They're not planning to have 2 lunches. I'm planning to have 0 lunches because I'm so freaking dumb that I don't realize like I'm going to get to the front of the line and they're not going to be serving breakfast sliders anymore. And the girls behind me, they were in high school, but they be new. But
then I'm like, they knew there wasn't food
and they still were in the line.
And they still were in the line, which is where my thing of like, the point of the line is the line.
The point of the line is the line.
It's a real like Dorothy meeting the Wizard of Oz moment where I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
you have no real power.
You have no breakfast sliders. You have no power in the form of breakfast sliders.
But then again, like we visited Missouri for the holidays because that's where I'm from. And like in Missouri, it's like there's no lines anywhere. You can walk right up to the counter. They'll give you a giant ass breakfast slider. It doesn't even take anything. And then you're kind of left feeling like, man, kind of... wish there was more of a line. Wish there was some pageantry.
Yeah, I wish there was some stuff going on.
Wish there was a little pizzazz
more
here.
hype, if you will.
Yeah.
Again, everything in LA is overhyped, but like everywhere, anywhere else, those words were confusing to me. Everywhere, anywhere else has no hype at all. And so is it better to be to have too much hype, or is it better to like literally have no hype at all?
And obviously we choose the hype.
And we choose the hype. We're here.
And we're here and we're hosting the Dick Night Fuck Shake podcast.
And I'm Dick Knight.
And I'm Fuck Shake.
Wait, isn't Dick? No, that's Dick Wolf. I was thinking about the guy who created Law and Order.
It was Dick Wolf.
Dick Wolf. Again, that's a sick name.
Yeah.
Dude, when people used to be able to be named Dick, we should name our kid Dick, even if they're a girl.
All right, no argument from me. Yeah, no, you're right. We should.
What if we call her like, if she's a girl, she can be like Dickina.
Yeah, so it's feminine. Your name's Dickina.
I told Robert this, but I had a dream where we had a daughter and she was ugly because she looked exactly half and half like me and Robert. But she had like all of our most exaggerated features. So she had like giant lips and then she had like giant eyebrows and her hair was like so thick. And I remember in my dream, I was just like, we're going to have to figure out how to like convince her that she's pretty. We're gonna have to convince her that she's pretty. You
see your ugly baby, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to gaslight this bitch.
I'm gonna have to gaslight this bitch. I better get my gaslighting ready.
Yeah. When you first told me that dream, you said, oh, I had a dream. You told me you woke up and you went, I had a dream about our child. It was so ugly. It had like your eyebrows.
No, I said it had big eyebrows. I said it had exaggerated features. It had big eyebrows.
You opened with, and by the way, you
I didn't say your eyebrows. I said it looked like us. Eyebrows. It had big eyebrows.
You said, well, yeah. Obviously, that's me.
I also have big eyebrows.
Get the fuck out of here. This is how you felt about acne. I feel like you're like, I had really big eyebrows in middle school. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Well,
this has been the Dick Night Fuck Shake podcast.
And I'm Fuck Shake.
No, you're Fuck Shake.
I said Fuck Shake.
Oh, I'm Dick Night. I want to be Fuck Shake. Until next time.